Okay, today we have Dr. Srimol S. Nair with us. She's actually a veterinarian, graduated from Kerala Veterinary and Animal Sciences University, Coorg, Kerala. And also, she had done her master's in the same university, and now she's pursuing her PhD from University of Melbourne. So let's hear more from her. And she's my classmate. So just pardon me if I just call her by her first name. So she's just my classmate. So let's start with the interview. Hi, welcome Srimol to the interview. And can you please give us a brief introduction about yourself and what you're just currently doing regarding your PhD and what was your major and master's, and just walk us through this.
Yeah, sure, Veena. Thank you, Veena. Thank you for the intro. I am an animal nutritionist. I did my master's in Kerala Veterinary and Animal Sciences University in 2018 in animal nutrition. And after that, I was working as a research assistant in the same department for a few months. Then I got a chance to work with feed industry, that is Suguna. Like I worked for a few months there, but at the same time I was fortunate to work as an assistant professor at the veterinary college Hassan, and I worked there for like more than 1 year. That was really helpful for me. I was like teaching animal nutrition to second year students. That was really helpful for my entire career, like all these sort of things. So from there my journey started, and I am currently doing my second year of my PhD at the University of Melbourne. I'm mainly focusing on the methane stuff, like I'm kind of feeding a probiotic, or the relationship of a probiotic when it is fed to the ruminants and its impact on the methane mitigation. So I am in the methane mitigation space right now. So I am collaborating with the Agriculture Victoria, and Agriculture Victoria is like a government sector, and they have all these kind of smart farms here. So my degree is from the University of Melbourne, but I am doing my research in Agriculture Victoria. So that's where I am.
Okay, so you're helping the environment too. Okay, first of all, start with like what was the drive to pursue your PhD like abroad? Like what was your drive? Like was it your dream like from childhood, or when you get into the veterinary, like then you started off like okay, this might be like a career, like what I want to pursue for my future career? So that's how you ended up there.
That was like when I joined veterinary, I was not sure about whether I need to practice as a vet or whether I need to go to a research thing. And obviously we are graduated from India, and we don't know more about, or we don't know a detailed perspective about the research area in the veterinary field. I'm pretty sure, yeah. So after my final year of my BVSc and AH course, I was so sure that I will not go to clinics ever again, because I'm not passionate about that. I'm more into the research thing. I'm more into, some non-clinical subjects, or I'm more into that. So then I focused on studying for my master's exam, like the entrance exam. I focused in like animal science. I tried for ICAR exam, but unfortunately, the 2018 flood was at that time, and I was unable to write the exam. So I ended up I think I wrote, but that didn't went really well. So I ended up in writing the Kerala veterinary PG examination. So fortunately, I got a seat in animal nutrition department. And I think that was the best thing, or that was the best decision I have ever made in my entire career life, to take animal nutrition as my next thing. Yeah, that was actually good. I literally had no idea where I was going, but yeah, in like the next 3 or 4 years, that was really helpful. That was the best decision I have ever made in my career life. So in my final year, I was continuously thinking about, anyway, I'm not going to practice as a vet here. So what am I going to do now? And I was unaware about the research opportunities in India or in Kerala, wherever in the veterinary field. So I was so sure, let's go abroad. Let's go somewhere else. Because I have heard or read a lot of things. So for example, we know what is SF6 techniques to measure the methane, but we haven't seen that. Where should I go to see that? That's just an example. So I know what is automatic in vitro fermentation system, but I haven't seen that. I have drawn the diagram, I have drawn everything. I have got enough marks for the exam after drawing and writing everything, but I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that functioning. So I thought, okay, anyway, we are supposed to study a lot more after this. So why can't we take a chance to go abroad and study a bit more? That was my triggering point, like, okay, just go there and study something else. So that's how I started asking people about this one.
That's how it started, right? Let's dive in deep. Like, why you chose Australia?
First of all, I had some personal commitments here in Australia. But more than that, when I talked with few of my seniors, I had a professor in college, Dr. Dildeep. So he helped me a lot, to draw that line from where to where should I go, to end up in getting a PhD. So he gave me an opportunity to talk to one of my seniors. She's from Pukon. So she was the only one who told me, okay, this is where you have to start this, and you have to go draw a line from here to there, to there, to there, that entire process. So she was in USA at that time. So she was not confident, the future opportunities or the extended stay back in USA. So I was a little demotivated to search for opportunities in USA, obviously. And USA, not tick mark. No. So, into mark. So, coming to Canada, I hate weather there. I'm so sorry. Into mark. No. So, coming to Oceania, the New Zealand and Australia, this, not in New Zealand, in Australia, the weather is somewhat similar to that in Kerala. We can adjust. Can you imagine going to a dairy farm if it is snowing all the day? I don't know. So the weather here is really good. Okay. Yeah. That's what I put an into mark in Canada. So that was the main reason I was focusing on Australia and New Zealand. And my fiancé was also here. He got a master's degree. He got an admission for doing his master's here. So I just thought of, focusing on the universities which offer animal nutrition courses or some PhD researches in Australia and New Zealand. That's how I ended up in searching for Australia. Yeah.
Okay.
Here, yeah.
So I got the point, the personal preferences and also some of the odds which was offered by the other countries.
Yes.
Okay, which contributed you to choose Australia. Good enough. Okay. Yeah. So I know you had gone through a lot of struggles. So let's talk about how if somebody from veterinary degree or in general, if a student want to get into a PhD or masters in fully funded, I'm talking about fully funded research program in Australian universities, what they should do. To start with, in Canada, it's you don't have to do a master's in order to do a PhD. It's if you are graduated from a college with 4 years, then you can directly do a PhD. You don't need a master's. So you will be enrolled into a master's and then you can convert into a PhD, or you can directly apply for a PhD. So is it like that in Australian universities, or how is it different?
I don't think the situation is like that in Australian university.
Okay. Yeah.
As far as I know about that, you need a proper master's for that. But recently I have heard something like what you said right now, you can go for an integrated PhD, but I'm not sure about that side. What I know is the proper channel, you should have a master's degree, then you have to go for a PhD. I only know what I went through.
Okay. Just explain your journey. That would be enough. Yeah.
All right. So I completed my master's in 2021. After that, I was working as a research assistant. Then I was working as an assistant professor. Then at that time, after the COVID outbreak, because at the time all the boundaries of the countries were closed, and of course nobody was accepting students from international, students from overseas. So once that waiver was off, like I started applying. So the first step is like, you need someone to supervise you.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is the most like time consuming part. Like in almost all the universities across Australia and New Zealand, like for the PhD programs, there should be someone to supervise you. There should be a tick mark from that supervisor to apply for a visa or apply for a scholarship or whatever you want to come to this country. So that was the most time consuming part. I think I took more than 1 or 1.5 years to get one. So I listed out almost all the universities in Australia and New Zealand that offers like PhD programs in animal nutrition, specifically ruminants. Animal nutrition is a vast topic. Like you have to short it down and come to the point. Where do you want to research in specific? I looked for those research opportunities or the universities or the farms which are offering that particular area of research. So because I had that background, animal nutrition, and my PhD thesis was on that. So my master's thesis was also on that. So only because of that. Then I searched the university website for some potential supervisors where my research interest matches with theirs. It should be similar. We should not email everyone randomly which belongs under the animal nutrition department, because it's a vast area and some might be doing some molecular research, some might be doing some extensive research. So it depends upon their research work. It should match, our research interest should match their research interest. Once I started getting responses, many of them were like rejections. Oh, sorry, we don't have any fund right now. Oh, sorry, I cannot take any students right now. So, but still I was happy. At least I am getting some feedback,
Yes.
If you knock like 100 doors, just one will open. In my case, that was like literally true. So eventually, after 1.5 years, I think, I connected with my current supervisor. And after that, he organized an interview where we discussed his research aspects as well as my expectations. The interview was really critical. Like that was really good for me. Like it helped both of us to understand more about ourselves, and if we really fit well, whether his research and my overviews will match or something like that. So it should match. What I really wanted and what he really is doing in his lab should match. So after 2 weeks of interview, and he agreed to supervise me, and that was such a huge relief for me. So at that time, I was thinking, okay, everything is done. I got this call. I got an opportunity to study there. So I thought that was the end, but no, that was the start. So the next major challenge was funding. I thought if one supervisor agrees to supervise me, the funding will automatically come. But it is not like that. Sometimes it may be like that, because one of my colleagues is working like that, and I think she got funding from her supervisor, because some of the supervisor will be having some grants, either from central government or from the university or from somewhere. So in my case, it was not like that. I had to search for the funding. So that was the most challenging one, or the challenging step in my PhD process. So like a paid PhD in Australia is quite expensive. Nobody will do that. It's like a 50,000 AUD per year tuition fees plus the 20,000 extra for living expense. Nobody will do that. I haven't heard about any paid PhDs, but yeah, it is quite expensive.
And you don't even know when you will be able to finish your PhD too, right? Like, is it like
that? That depends. That question needs a big explanation. It is said like you can finish it in 3.5 to 4 years, because they will give stipend until I think 3.5 years. But if you don't get that research line, it's not just one trial in your PhD. It's like a group of trials which come together, align together to get a story of the lab. Do you understand? So there should be
Yeah,
a story, and you should conclude, okay, I started from there, I reached here. Okay, this is my storyline of the PhD. So once you get that storyline, you're done.
Okay.
None of the PhD students can complete their PhD in 3 years. It will take more than that, like 3.5 or 4 maybe. Yeah, that's the
I
average.
asked this just because here, if we get like a position or masters, if supervisor agreed to, supervise us, then it's like supervisor will have the grant. Here it's called NSER grant. So my supervisor had the NSER grant from which I was paid my stipend.
Yeah.
So it was like that.
Yeah.
And also, the PhD is like, it can be completed in, like, here the PhD is minimum 4 years. So it can go up to 5-6 years. So minimum in 4, it's very rare to complete the PhD in 4 years. So if you have so many stuff to do, then they will just extend it, and then it'll be like max 5-6 years. Even there is PhD students who have gone to 7 years. So, but the stipend, they still pay the stipend for the students.
That is good. That is good. But here it is not like that. They will not pay the stipend.
Okay. That's what I was.
It's like, majority of the students will finish it in 3.5 years, I think. It depends. It depends upon the place where we work. If we are completely sticking on to the university labs, I think it will get delayed. But if you are sticking on to some other, like if the government is funding you, maybe there are like different types of PhD funding and researching, everything.
Let's talk about process of getting the funding.
So my supervisor said, yes, I can supervise you. So I started the application. I didn't write IELTS before that. I only cleared my IELTS after I got an S from my supervisor. Otherwise, so majority of the people, that is the first question almost everyone are asking me, like, should we write an IELTS prior to everything? Like, no, you don't need to do that. What if you don't get a supervisor in like 2 years? The validity of IELTS is just for 2 years. I know many people like that. So don't do that. If you get an S from a supervisor, then just go for the IELTS. Like, that's we have an option to. The application is like, the processing time is like for more than 3 months, I think. So in between any of these time, we can just submit that report, the IELTS report, result. So so I did my IELTS after I get an S from my supervisor. Before that, I have applied. The next day, I got an S. I applied to the university for the admission. Along with the admission form, which we fill, there is a tick mark to note like whether you need to be considered for the scholarship as well. That is the university scholarship. That is Melbourne Research Scholarship, I think. So I put a tick mark. So this application will automatically go into that as well. It's just one application in which our PhD application will be automatically considered for the scholarship as well.
Okay, got it.
It's like that. So in that scholarship, it involves the fee offset, which means we don't have to pay any fees. And the second one is stipends, our living expense.
Okay.
So once you submit the application, the period is like for 3 months for PhD, 2 months for masters, I think. So after the 3 months of wait, I was waiting. I applied in March or April, I think, and I got result on June 1st, 2022, and I was miserably rejected.
Oh my God.
So then I asked my supervisor, like, what the hell happened here? I didn't get that one. So he said, like, it is really competitive. It's like, we cannot assure you that one. So it is not linked to the supervisor directly. It is another branch. The supervisory wing is another thing which our supervisor cannot interfere. If I am good for that, if I have enough publications, or if I have enough GPA, or if I have enough, work experience, I will get that. If there are a lot of students who are applying, like almost 600 something students are applying from all not only the vets, but from all the branches, like Faculty of Science or whatever. It is really competitive. So I was depressed, obviously, because I got a supervisor and I didn't get the fund. That's the most unfortunate thing. After 1 month, in July, Agriculture Victoria opened their scholarship portals. So I applied for that scholarship. The Agriculture Victoria is actually a government agency. They collaborate with the University of Melbourne as well as some other universities, I think the La Trobe University, and they offer the scholarship, but we have to do the research in their farms. That's the criteria.
Okay.
Like the university will be having farms, but anyway, this is a government funding thing. So we can do the research here, but I'll get degree from here. I'll be supervised by my supervisor from the university. But the only thing is like my office will be there in the Agriculture Victoria thing, like in that sector.
Okay.
I applied in July 2022. I was shortlisted in September, and after the interview from them in October, I got the offer letter, scholarship letter in November.
Okay.
So for Agriculture Victoria, it is like for PhD, it is not like the fall opening or the summer opening, the autumn opening. It's not like that. You can go and do your PhD anytime you want to.
Oh,
Unlike
okay.
the masters. So for masters, I think there are only 2 openings per year. I think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So for PhD, it's not like that. Whenever they want to start the study, we should be there. That's the point.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the scholarship which I got from Agriculture Victoria, that was pretty good compared to the one which I get from university. And the scholarship covered all my living expenses, including the flight tickets and relocation. So it was pretty
Oh,
good. Yeah.
that's nice. Okay.
Yeah, that was nice. So
Okay,
that was a
yeah.
significant relief, and the reward for all the hard work. Yeah. So
Definitely. That's definitely a relief.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
the flight tickets is the one which we are like struggling.
I
Struggling
know.
on.
Yeah.
From what you have said so far, I have some questions. So you mentioned about this PhD position is not only applied by veterinarians. So I just wanted to make a note on that. So
Yes.
it's just not the veterinarians, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
No,
Can you
no.
please elaborate on that, like a little bit?
Yes. Yeah. That's another good point. So what I said before is about the university scholarship. So for that university scholarship, there will be graduates applying from maybe Faculty of Science, Faculty of Chemistry, Faculty of, Master of like dentistry, medicine, whatever research
Okay.
areas are there, they can all apply to this particular scholarship.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that count is what I said, like 300 or 600.
Oh, okay. Okay. It makes sense. The count. Yeah.
Yeah. So they will sort it out. Like there will be a rank. There will be a ranking according to the publication, according to the, I think the job experience you have. And coming to the experience, there should not be any career breaks in between. And the publications, of course, there's a score card for the publications. If it is like first author publication, there will be like an extra score. I don't know about the scoring thing, but there is some score. If it is an international journal and the impact factor is so high, obviously our score will increase. If it's just only one publication with an impact factor of 4 or like 3, well and good. The purpose of the publication is like the person who is reviewing your application should understand, okay, this girl is more into research. She likes research. She likes publishing. She likes writing stuff. That's the point. So it's good to go to conferences. It's good to publish some papers. It's good to be the co-authors. It's good to get more laboratory experiences. If you list out all those in your academic CV, that will be well and good.
I would like to make a note on that too. So here, that's where we Indian students struggle with publications.
Yeah, I know.
That's a really hardcore point. And do you have any suggestion to to boost our publication, like for the students finish their undergrad and they just want to get into research?
I am currently writing few papers from my PhD, and I was not good at writing when I was doing my master's. I was doing it for okay, I just want to finish my master's, that's it. So that was in my head. That's so only for a purpose I did that. But now I am writing some for my PhD research, and it's more like it's entirely different from what I wrote in my master's. Like, it's like you are creating a beautiful story from what you have done. It takes time. It takes revision. There needs an excellent person who is more into writing and reading and reviewing all these stuffs. There needs someone to guide you properly for a writing session. You can build it up, but it is quite difficult. If there is someone to teach you how to write or to, it will be some minor things that make the draft beautiful. I can see the difference from the paper I have published from India and the paper I am writing now. Oh my God, yeah, there is a huge difference. Yeah. And that was the first thing. One of my co-supervisors, he's really good in this. And my supervisor as well. They both are editors in few high impact factor journals. Oh my God, they're really helping me very well. Like, now I know, okay, this is the mistake. Okay, this is the mistake. This is not how it should be. I know how I can draw a line, or I know how to make a draft. I know right now, like, yeah. So maybe you can read a few good papers, but it's always good if there is someone to, advise you very well, to go through each and every line at least once. That will really help. Yeah. The only thing students can do there is like either just go through many papers with high impact factor.
Okay. I also wanted to ask you that, like, when you're doing a PhD, so do you get to do some courses there? Like, is it just the research?
It's just the research. It's just the research. Yeah, that's a very good point. Like, I think few years back there was, we were supposed to do a few courses, but now the situation is not like that. We don't have to do anything. It's just the course. It's just the research. But there are few courseworks which say about the, how should you behave to your colleague. Those are the courses which we are supposed to do. Okay. That's it. So there is no other theoretical stuffs related to the subject. No, nothing.
Okay. Yeah. So actually, like, so it's a little bit different from here. Even for masters and PhD, I think like here there is mandatory courses you need to take. So for me, for masters it was 3. For PhD it's like 4, which can actually improve your PhD skills, basically. So that's so it's good to know it's different from here.
It was similar.
Each education system is a little bit different.
Yeah, it was similar here. I have heard about that, but now it is different. Like, if I want, for example, if I'm doing some meta-analysis for my 4th trial in my PhD, maybe I can do a course for that. If I need that course, I can do that course. But it is not compulsory. You have to do that.
And if you want to do the course, will it be covered? Like,
it will be covered. Yeah, it will be covered.
Okay. If somebody wants to find another scholarship, if they didn't get into the university scholarship, how will they find it?
Okay. So what I did was like, I had some portals open in my Google, that web page. One, obviously, for 2 and 3 years, I was looking for the same. So there was one portal always open, like for PhD opportunities in Australia, PhD opportunities in New Zealand, PhD opportunities in Victoria, PhD opportunities in Latro, PhD opportunities in UniMelb. So when I searched for PhD opportunities in University of Melbourne regarding to agricultural sciences, there was one link which was redirecting to this one, because the University of Melbourne is offering that PhD program. At the same time, AgVic was funding it. So obviously it will be notified in the university portal as well as in the AgVic portal. It will be advertised.
So basically search the websites of the universities where you're going, or
not only universities, just Google it. You will find it somewhere. Because everything will not be notified in the university. No, everything will not be notified in the university. You have to be like, you have to search wherever, like, we will feel like it's a spam or something, but just click in that. If it says PhD scholarship, just click in that. Because I was redirected to this site like that. But I applied for this and my supervisor said, okay, there is an opportunity like this. Why can't you apply for that? So I said, okay, I have already applied. And that was my another point. Connections will work. Like a good connection with some good people will really work here.
Okay, so yeah, let's just talk a little bit about like the lifestyle in Australia, like life insurance, health insurance, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, health insurance is covered by the like in the scholarship.
Yeah.
So how is it like to get your perspective? Like here in Canada, if you just come in a student visa, at least in Alberta, health insurance is entirely covered by the government. It's like you don't have to pay anything. It's like
Really?
completely covered. Yeah. It's like if you have the student visa, like if you are a full-time student here, you will get a student visa and then it's completely covered. Like it won't cover dental, like eye examination and stuff. That we have to pay it in our
that is
tuition.
separate. Yeah.
So is it like that there, or it's like what's the difference?
No, it's not like that. If we are coming in a temporary visa, we have to pay. Only if we don't have to pay if we are in a tourist visa. Otherwise, we have to pay for that. We have to pay. Yeah, we have to pay. We have to be insured if you are staying for more than 3 months.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And so will it be covered in your scholarship?
Scholarship? Yeah, I think 4-year OSHC was covered. After I got married, I changed it to the couple insurance. I added his name along with this one. So yeah, that's the only part we paid it. Yeah.
Okay.
Now I remember. Yeah, it was covered.
Okay. Srimo, we actually missed to touch base with career opportunities. So can you please elaborate on like what are the career opportunities you will get after doing a PhD, at least in your arena?
Okay. That's a tricky question actually. So if you are too much into research, so once you finish your PhD, like after 3.5 or 4 years, you will get to know if you want to continue in the same stream or if you want to work for some companies. Of course, you will be in touch with some of the private companies who are supplying some product or something like that. So you'll get an idea whether you need to continue with this research thing or you need to work like as a consultant or as a scientist or whatever. So if you're more into research, you can go for a postdoc. There are a lot of postdoc opportunities in many of the universities in Australia. So a postdoc is a really good option. Or you can work as some research scientist, like the place like I am working right now. That's a government sector and there are a lot of researchers coming and going, like, yeah. So you can be a part of that. It will not be a permanent one. It can be a permanent one, but if you are in a student visa and if you're looking for a job, the chances are very less to get a permanent position, but you will be in a contract for like 3 or 4 years.
Like, either you can just join the company or you can do a postdoc if you're too much into research, or you will get like some faculty position or like research
some faculty
scientist
position. Of course, yes. Yeah. But getting into a faculty position is not that easy. You will get it, but that depends upon the way you do in your PhD. For example, if you are a part of like a lot of researches while you are doing the PhD, apart from your own research, there will be a lot of opportunities to be part of. Yeah, exactly. So you can be a part of their work as well. So it depends upon how strong are you into publication. Publication is really important here to get into academics. Yeah, you need like high level publications, high impact factor publications here. Publication is really important, to get into universities. Experience, getting into commercial companies is also good, I think. There is a research wing in every commercial company, almost every commercial company. So you can be like a lead advisor, you can be a senior research scientist there. There are a lot of career opportunities.
I hope like the companies will pay you more than the government there.
Yes. I think so. Yeah, that's what everyone is saying. Like the situation is not like in India. People are more focusing on private companies than in government things. Like I think so.
Good to know that.
They are getting well paid in private things. And there will be like international travel, so it's quite good to work in a private company. Government companies are also good. I mean, government agencies or workplaces are also good, but I think the private ones are more fancy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it's also like maybe depend upon your personal choices, right? Like
Yeah,
whether you
personal
like to
choice, the
travel.
place. Yeah, the place where we live, the kind of work we want to do. Maybe some people prefer white collar job. Of course, go to these kind of companies. The work culture is really good here. You don't have to work in weekends. Saturday
Oh
and
yeah.
Sundays also. It's
It's the
really
same
good.
here. And I think like we got pretty much what we needed. So to
Mhm,
wind up, if you want to do a PhD, like in general,
mhm,
I
mhm.
know a PhD you're doing is for not just for veterinarians, right?
No,
Anybody can
no,
apply,
no,
right?
no.
Anybody can
It's
apply.
not for. I applied for. I mean, I applied for PhD in agricultural sciences.
Mhm,
So those who are related to that one, for example, the people who do research in forage, um,
mhm.
agronomy, everyone can just apply. It's not for vets.
Okay. I just forgot to ask you something. So we we have animal science people, veterinarians, like
Mhm,
agriculture science
mhm,
people coming into the PhD and stuff, right? But if you
mhm,
want to do the research, and if you are like doing research with animals, large animals, like in your case it will be large animals, do
mhm.
you need a license to do anything with the animal?
No, no, no,
No.
no, no. If you're practicing on an animal, or if you're doing some surgery, or if you're treating an animal, you need a license. But otherwise, you
Mhm.
don't have to. If you're experimenting on one, you don't have to.
Okay,
No,
okay, okay.
no.
That,
No, we
okay,
are just feeding
okay,
some
okay.
stuff. So we just need an ethical committee
Okay.
approval for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Yeah, that we will get it from Agriculture Victoria. Yeah. We will send all the pre-schedules, like what we are going to do, and yeah, they will approve it. If there is some concerns about the animals or some health issues or whatever they feel, they will just reject the application. So yeah.
Just to summarize, like what are the maybe like 5 takeaway like how to do a PhD in Australia?
Okay. Don't be that one frog in the end, like in the well, who can only see the boundaries of the well. Just come out of that. There are a lot of opportunities which you have to explore. Like, you have to explore a lot of opportunities which will be really helpful to build a good career, and try to read more. What is happening outside? What is the new update? Even if you are treating an animal, what is the new update in treating for that particular thing? Just read more. Reading is really good, and be consistent. If you really want to come and study a PhD or something, just be consistent. I have seen many people like, okay, I'm tired of sending emails to supervisors, nobody is responding in 6 months. But 6 months is not a period. I got my first reply after like 1 year. So
Yes.
be consistent. If you really want, definitely you will get it. If I get it, everyone will get it. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
it.
so
Yeah, be
that's
consistent.
good. Thank you, Srimol.
Thank you.
And yeah, and good luck with your future endeavors, and like yeah, good
Yep.
luck with your research. Hope it end up with a good results, and we can just see some environmental improvement at some
Yeah,
point.
thinking so. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Veena.
Okay.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
organizing
much.
this.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for organizing. Yeah, bye.